Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Due to popular request, I'm remaking my Spider-Man settings guide updated for Season 5 and will now include the full configuration for my Crosshair, which was missing from the previous guide. Alright, let's get straight into it. Since the last settings guide, there's been some stuff that's changed that's important to take note of. First, I've switched from playing on Xbox to PC full-time, so I've changed some settings to reflect that. Secondly, I've always used a regular Xbox controller, which is what I was using when I made the first guide, but since then, I've been using the GameSir G7 Pro controller. This controller is way more responsive and has a much faster refresh time than the standard Xbox controller. Basically, what this means is that if you're using a regular Xbox controller, you'll probably need to use slightly higher settings compared to the ones I'm going to provide in this video. But truthfully, you guys should just get the GameSir G7 Pro. It's the best controller I've ever used, and no, this is not an ad. With that being said, let's check out my Spider-Man settings. Okay, so I play on 410 sensitivity currently. When I was using a regular Xbox controller, I was playing at 500. Max sensitivity on the GameSir G7 Pro felt like it was actually like 750 sensitivity, so I turned it down to 415 and that feels pretty good for me. Now, let me say one important thing. Spider-Man does need to be played at a decently high sensitivity to get maximum value from him, but don't turn it too high to the point where you can't control it and you're just missing all of your clusters and abilities. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Don't increase your sensitivity for the sole purpose of going for long pulls. Far too often I'll have Spider-Man players ask me how they can get better and to review their gameplay only to see that they're trying to do long pulls and miss the pulls throughout the match. It's flashy and it makes for good TikTok clips, but it's honestly not very efficient as it's very difficult to do, and if you're missing it all the time, you're losing out on massive kill potential. Focus on the basics. Hit your web clusters, your melee attacks, and perfect your web swinging. That's what you should be doing when you increase your sensitivity. Don't just increase your sensitivity by 100 immediately after watching this video. You're going to have a hard time adjusting with such a dramatic change. Instead, go up slowly every time you play. I'd recommend going up by 5. It'll make it way easier to play by doing it this way. Alright, now to the advanced settings. I only ever play on classic curve. Linear just feels way too jerky and chaotic, while I feel I have more control when using classic curve. I like having dead zones that feel very responsive to me, so my values here reflect that. Eye gazing minimum and maximum both set to 12 and the max dead zone response time set to 20. I have aim assist window size at 5. This is certainly on the low side, but it helps avoid accidentally snapping between nearby targets, giving you more precision assuming that your aim is on point. We keep aim assist strength at 100 and ease in at a 50. A higher ease in value gives you a smoother ramp up, which makes it easier to lead your clusters. For movement dead zones, I like 10 and 82 as the lower and higher values respectively. This will give you enhanced responsiveness for micro adjustments in mouse and keyboard like precision. Since I'm on PC now, I try to make my controller emulate mouse and keyboard as much as possible. This will also give you a huge advantage if you play on console. And now for some general Spidey settings you should have. Make sure to turn on hold to swing. You always want to have as much control over the hero you're using, and this is a huge setting that every Spider-Man player should have enabled. Also, please turn on allied health bars. This setting should actually be on for all of your characters, so you can keep track of your team's HP so you know when to fight or when to peel for other players on your team. Now you need to map your get over here and get over here targeting to different inputs. For get over here targeting, which is pulling yourself to an enemy, I map it to the left analog stick. For pulling yourself to them, I keep it on the right bumper. Now you can play around and change the keybind to what's most comfortable for you, but the bottom line is that these are the settings you need to be a top Spider-Man. Alright, now for what you guys have all been waiting for, the crosshair. So the reason I use this crosshair is because it displays your web cluster's hitbox. Obviously it's not down to the exact hitbox frame, but I found that it is pretty reliable. As you can see, the outer transparent ring still hits a web cluster on the target, so you can be slightly less focused on aiming, use that focus somewhere else. Alright, so for the crosshair, what you're going to want to do is set the reticle type to circle and crosshairs. In advanced, turn off the reticle animation. And the width details, set dot width and crosshair width to 17, and then the circle width to 100. In reticle opacity, set dot opacity to 0, crosshair opacity to 100, and circle opacity to 18. In outline width, set dot outline width to 0, crosshair outline width to 20, and circle outline width to 0. For outline opacity, set dot outline opacity to 100, crosshair outline opacity to 100, and circle outline opacity to 4. For blur, set dot blur to 62, crosshair blur to 0, and circle blur to 100. For center gap details, your crosshair radius should be 4 and circle radius 32. Set the crosshair length to 8 and the angle to 4. Change it to the color of your choosing. That simply comes down to personal preference. I just use white. Now these are my settings I've been using which got me to rank 1 Spider-Man in Season 2.5 and 1 above all, but please keep in mind that you may need to adjust some settings to your own personalization. Think of these settings as an outline that you can use for yourself and refine to your own personal liking as you play. On top of that, these settings won't magically make you a better player. You still need to spend time learning and practicing Spider-Man's mechanics and also develop a strong game sense for how to play with him. With the constant buffs to his counters and to healers in general, and particularly Season 5, Spider-Man is in a very poor spot right now, so it will be very difficult to get even the smallest bit of value unless you play damn near perfectly. So yes, rely on settings, but focus more so on mechanics and game sense. If you need help with these combos, check out the Spider-Man guides I've uploaded previously. They really helped a lot of people and I'm sure it'll help you too. I'll link those in the description for you guys. Lastly, I just want to say thank you for the support. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps me out and it gets me to make more of these videos to help you guys. Make sure you guys check me out live on Twitch. I stream Tuesday to Friday from 3 PM Eastern to 9 PM Eastern. Also to make sure to join the Discord and join my community. I'll leave a link for all this in the description. Thank you guys and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.